Hello and welcome back to Dump Slate, a podcast about movies. My name is Felix and I'm your host. We only have 4 minutes and 20 seconds, so let's get started. Today we are covering Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, directed by Andy Fickman, starring Kevin James, who's a co-writer, Raini Rodriguez, David Henries, and Neal McDonough. 6 years after saving the West Orange Pavilion Mall, going through a quick 6-day marriage and then divorce, and then his mother dying, Paul Blart felt he has peaked and is now on a downward trend. But after getting an invitation to a security officer conference in Las Vegas, he found that spark for life again. After his daughter is kidnapped, Paul Blart must save the day yet again in this hilarious and ridiculous Vegas comedy. I'm a big fan of Kevin James, and I don't know about you, but the first film is something I've seen several times and think is just funny as fuck every single time. When I was looking up films for season 2, I didn't even know that this film existed, and I thought I would have seen it already, but I was wrong for both of those cases. And this film is everything that the first film is, with just the Vegas flair. And not just Vegas, but the Wynn Las Vegas. It's one of the rare films that actually gets to use a casino's name and likeness throughout. Now, this is hard to do due to licensing, as well as how the company wants to be portrayed, so they have to look over every single scene. For example, in Casino from last week's episode, they used the Tangiers Hotel, which is a completely fake hotel name because the casino didn't want likeness to be related to all the stuff that they were doing. So since this was a family comedy, Steve Wynn actually allowed this to be the first commercial film to be filmed at the Wynn. And this is super nice for production. They get to shoot the entire resort with freedom and not have to worry about hiding anything in editing post later. And while it might seem limited sticking to just a single resort the entire film, they used it to the fullest extent. You really get the full Vegas experience, from the gambling, the food, the luxury rooms, a Cirque du Soleil show, and even ziplining between the Wynn and Encore towers. This entire film is absolutely ridiculous due to Kevin James. There isn't a Kevin James film I hate and just don't laugh at the entire time. Between his extremely awkward rambling about how confident he is in himself, these crazy attractive women who are absolutely out of his league hitting on him the entire time, and his extreme luck in situations against bad guys, really just makes this a fun watch. And while the plot lines are so basic and simple, you can't go into this film really expecting too much. I mean, the entire film happens due to some bad guys trying to rob a casino of expensive art versus the actual cash. You're robbing a casino. You're going to get fucked either way, so you might as well go for the biggest loot, which just set them up to fail. Now, you're also going to have the cringy, cheesy lines and scenes you get from the original, but it's all worth it for these fun comedic experiences. I'm definitely more of a raunchy adult comedy versus this, but it's something that everyone can watch without being offended, hopefully. On to the important things. My rating, 2.5 stars. Probably a little high. Average rating, 1.9. That makes more sense. And my favorite Letterboxd review comes from Tay. A truly devastating, haunting, and achingly human portrayal of mental illness. James gives a tour de force performance, which is well anchored by an apt supporting cast. Henrie shines as the boy that not enough people notice, but wish they could have known better. But it's the performance of Kevin James that excites the emotions and moves the audience. His portrayal of such a damaged soul is a true powerhouse. See Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, for it is an important film of 2015 thus far and likely the rest of the year. I have to mention, this was added in 2015, which I didn't even know Letterboxd existed until 2 years ago. So this is an OG member, and I just love this review so much. This is what Letterboxd is for. Is this film stoner friendly? I mean, I was definitely high during this, and it was definitely funnier because of that. So leave the kids at home for this one if you want to enjoy it more. How Vegas is this film? Surprisingly, this is a very Vegas film. It's almost an advertisement as to why families should come visit the Wynn. And all the shooting was done in Vegas, which is super rare. So 10 out of 10 Vegas. Thank you for listening. Join us next Monday at 4:20 where we cover 21 and cut. We're literally smoking and talking about movies.